Hello everybody. In this video I am going to present the X-Files for the zodiac sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and of course, hello to the cross-watchers, regardless of whom you are. Before starting, I want to tell you that I have came up with my own reading regarding your ex. And so I have divided 20 cards in 4 separate rows, as you can see. The first row represents the way your ex feels about the relationship that you had. The second row represents the way that your ex feels about you. The third row represents the way your ex feels about a possible reconciliation. And the fourth row, I consider it some sort of message sent by your ex through my cards and through my understanding. The energy, the overall energy. Before really getting into details, I must say that the love reading, the general love reading for your zodiac sign has been painful. Like there was so much pain and there was so much mixed feelings and so much confusion that literally my stomach was hurting. And this reading is no different. Same kind of pain, same kind of mixed feelings, same kind of confusing messages. So I don't need to be a rocket scientist in order to realize that for some of you, if not for most of you, the pain that you are going through during this period of time is due to the relationship that you had with your ex, the one that you consider now an ex. And what I saw in your general love reading and what I see here is that the relationship that you had was a powerful, passionate, but seriously troubled relationship where both sides are immensely affected, were and are immensely affected. If not even for some of you, more people are seriously affected. I can sense a 3-party situation, even a 4-party situation, maybe even children. I see marriage for one side or both sides. But what I see is that this seriously troubled relationship was, for the time being, the most important thing in your lives. And I believe that you cannot seriously heal from this kind of a relationship that you had. And that for some of you, if not even most of you, the relationship that you had with your ex felt like the love of your lives. And oh my God, I'm getting emotional. I told you, so much pain in both readings that I seriously feel for you. And I feel it in my stomach and I feel it in my throat. And I wish I could be able to take your pain away. I wish I could be able to seriously be able to tell you it's all right, but it's not all right. It's not all right. And some things need to be done, apparently on both sides, in order for you to heal and to be able to move on. Really a whirlwind relationship, a whirlwind, like a hurricane. I see a hurricane of emotions where mental sanity was involved, uh, burden, hurting, sudden changes, runaways, betrayals, sleepless nights. I'm sorry. Actually, I don't know if I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're going through all of this pain, and I'm sorry that this is how it had to end. But at the same time, these kinds of feelings, this huge, immense love that I saw in both readings, they are worth living for. Regardless how they end, regardless what the outcome of this is, it's just the fact that you felt the most alive possible during those times, and that this was the main reasoning for waking up and for going to sleep and for breathing, is just I can feel you. I can feel you, my dear Gemini. I can feel you. And I can feel what you've been going through. And it has been wonderful for the time being. And I can see why, for most of you, when that ended, you felt that a good part of yourselves ended. So, as I was looking at these cards and reviewing your love reading, because when I saw these cards, I was like, I've seen this before. Where have I seen it? And then guess what? I saw it in your general love reading. So, yeah, as I told you, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, a NASA rocket scientist, to put two and two together. And as I was looking at these cards, I felt so troubled, and I feel so troubled, and I believe that you can feel it in my voice. And a song came into my mind, and it was Beautiful Trauma by Pink. And I think it suits you so well, that song. It suits your relationship with your ex so well that your ex is your perfect rock bottom, your beautiful trauma, your love, your drug, and you are fucked up, both of you. And if you haven't listened to that song, it's so ironic, it hurts. It's that kind of a song, so ironic, it hurts. And what I have here, what the cards show me, it's so ironic, it hurts. But let's get into the details. So, in the first row, as I told you, we have the way that your ex feels about the relationship. And we have the Queen of Wands. I want you to be able to see them. The Eight of Cups, the Star, 10 of Swords, and 9 of Swords. Not a very pretty image, ain't it? I know, with all of these swords and mental darkness. So, what does it mean? What does it mean? I don't know, you know better. You know better what it means. I'm just going to tell you what I see. So, the Queen of Wands says that your ex believes that your relationship was a very intense, passionate, risky, enthusiastic, adventurous, full of fiery moments and feelings, full of adrenaline kind of a relationship. That it was so strong and so passionate that most likely it debalanced both of you. It just took you from your comfort zone and put you in a place, exactly as I told you before, where I don't know, you burned so bright that you burned out. That kind of a relationship. So fiery and so passionate that it burned out both of you. And maybe even more than both of you. Then we have the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, coming after the Queen of Wands and in between the Queen of Wands and the Star, it makes me believe that it was a very emotional, dramatical, maybe even abrupt kind of an ending, kind of a breakup, where one or both sides, either your ex or both of you, had to choose between continuing the relationship and your mental sanity. I feel it was that kind of a thing where you knew that if you are going to continue with this craziness, you're going to lose yourselves. You're going to lose each other and you're going to lose yourselves. And it looks like a decision, an emotional, very difficult decision had to be made. And it looks like mental sanity was chosen. In order for you to continue being, you had to choose your, not together, but individually, you had to stop this passionate, amazing craziness and leave all of the disastrous emotions and feelings behind you. It looks like you really, really needed a break in order to refine yourselves. Then we have the Star. And in most cases, I look at the Star as a very, very positive kind of a card. But I believe that what the Star wants to tell me is that you or your ex or both of you were in desperate need for hope, for serenity, for peace of mind, for light, for guidance, for inner light. And this is what makes me believe that you are not yourselves during the relationship. During the relationship, you are nothing more than the partner of your ex, and that your ex was nothing more than your partner. But I feel that this relationship was very complicated to start with. One of you or both of you were already in a relationship or were in a very complicated kind of a mental state or emotional state, and that this relationship, the one that you had with your ex, was troubled to start with, was unhealthy to start with. I don't know why I get this feeling, but please let me know if I am correct in what I am saying here. Please let me know I am not emotional in vain in here. So yeah, with the Star, desperate need of clarity, of inner guidance, of hope, of serenity, of peace of mind, of inner light. Given this kind of a passionate romance, dramatical ending, this is what came up, or that the dramatical ended appeared because this was necessary for one of you or both of you. Then we have the Ten of Swords. And what does the Ten of Swords say? Betrayal. Overkill. One sword would have been necessary to kill this poor man. But no. 10 are here. 10 are in his bag. And I know that betrayal was at hand in this relationship. that once the relationship ended, one of you or both of you felt betrayed, or that one of you or both of you had to betray other people. All in all, I see a something really bad happened emotionally for many of you. Either your ex betrayed, either he felt or she felt betrayed, either in order for you to have this amazing, passionate romance, you had to betray other people. I don't know. You'll have to see what suits you, and if any of this suits you. Don't be angry at the messenger. This is what I see. And then we have the Nine of Swords. And you know what the Nine of Swords means. You had it in your reading as well. In your love reading as well. Sleepless nights. Anguish. Worrying. Guilt. So this card makes me believe that you were betrayed by your ex and now your ex feels guilty. Or either of the situation or both of you are feeling guilty now because you had to betray. But betrayal and worrying and the feeling of guilty and the sleepless nights and the worrying and the need to find solutions and the need to understand the situation in the deepest way possible was necessary. I think it was just too much fire into that. And that really you burnt out. You burnt out, both of you. And now I can understand even better what is it that I saw in your general love reading. Told you I don't know how many of you will resonate with this. But even if only one of you, dear Gemini, has to go through this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel you in my guts. I feel you in my guts. It must have been the most beautiful thing that you have ever had. Then, in the second row, we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Empress. You know what's funny? The funny part is that I am a very, very, very optimist kind of a person. I am not only a Leo, but I am a psychologist. And, you know, I most of the time I manage to see the positiveness into everything and I'm always trying to look at the bright side of the situation. And you know, I think that if you listen to my other videos, just so that you feel my energy or hear my energy, you'll realize that I'm very optimistic kind of a person and that you feel that into my voice. But both times when I did your readings for the month of December regarding you and now regarding your ex, I feel so much pain in my stomach and in my throat. I get so empathetic with your situation that I really cannot be bright about it. Like I wish I could. And simply because I can't, I can only imagine the pain that you had to go through. It's if it pains me to this level, and if it debalances me at this level, I can only imagine what's going on in your beautiful, beautiful, hurting souls. So, The second row represents the way that your ex feels about you. And we have the Two of Pentacles. And this, of course, can mean different things. For some of you, it could be possible that your ex believes that you are a very good juggler and that probably they felt juggled by you. This can maybe resonate for some of you. For some of you, it can represent that your ex believes that you are always trying to find balance, always trying to find a way to keep all of the aspects of a situation in balance in order not to hurt yourself and in order not to hurt others. It also means that you are adaptable, flexible, open to development, a funny person, a fun person to have around with humor, feeling the high spirits. Probably because you were like this or your ex perceived you as being like this, probably that's why they fell so madly in love with you. And that would make sense because you are Gemini and you are always in need of and you're also an air sign, and so you are always seeking for this kind of mental balance, balance in general, but especially the balance of your mind. Although you are very romantic and very giving and very emotional, you are not really to lose your head due to this. But this, I can see it, I can feel it in my stomach and in my throat, how it debalanced you. This amazingly beautiful, full of adrenaline, passionate relationship that you had. But I believe that this is how you were before it. This joyful and playful kind of a, juggler, but not in a bad way, the most positive and nice way possible. Then we have the Empress. And the Empress says that your ex found you very attractive. Not only mentally balanced and adaptable and flexible, but also attractive as a human being. Very nurturing, very giving, very loving, very natural. Maybe you are the mother of your ex's children, or that if you are a male and watching this, maybe you saw in your ex the possible mother of your kids, or the possible father of your kids, like that kind of. Now I'm smiling because I believe you are like this, very capable of giving and manifesting love and nurturing, and very loving and lovable, because the Empress is the representative card for Venus. And you know who Venus is, the goddess of love. So your ex believed that you that you are the goddess of love, or maybe Cupid, the god of love. Then we have the Ace of Swords. And swords, as you probably know, represents air energy. So I believe that this is your energy. And I believe that your ex was capable of seeing your real nature, the way that you really are. having and using a lot of mental force, being capable of facing problems, of seeking justice, proceeding the truth, having clear understanding, and probably you having all of these characteristics is what made you see clearly what was going on, and hence the relationship with your ex was over. I believe that. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles represents the ultimate single card, singles card. So your ex believes that you are very well on your own, you are very independent, you are very rooted, you are very balanced, very diplomatic, very tactful, that you are in constant need of control, of self-control, and that in most situations you manage to have it. And I believe that you lost your self-control in the most beautiful way during this romance with your ex. But this is who you were before, and I believe that this is who you should be now. You know, that the most strong and self-confident and independent kind of a person. You have it in yourself. And then we have the Temperance, which comes really to confirm all the rest of the cards. It's your capacity of being tempered, of being balanced, of seeking for, to cool down the passion. And I believe that you were able and are able, but not during the relationship. As you can see here, that there are these two cups, emotions, and we have fire, and the angel of temperance is just putting the fire in water in order to be tempered, in order for the passion to be, controlled. And I believe that this is a very great capacity which you lost during the relationship with your ex. That everything was so passionate that you could not cool it down. But this is representative for you, and your ex sees this beautiful characteristic of yours, of balancing, of equilibrating, of simply tempering. Then on the third row, and this is where it gets a bit more confusing, but maybe you will tell me what this really means. The third row represents the way that your ex feels about a possible reconciliation. I believe that you are so hurting, my dear Gemini, that you don't even consider one. And I believe that this is what your ex feels, that there is no way, after all of this, that the reconciliation would be possible in your head. In your head. And it looks like your ex doesn't necessarily care about himself, herself at this point, but about you. And this is what makes me believe that probably they were the one that were unfaithful or betraying or running away from this. So, the way that your ex feels about a possible reconciliation, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Ten of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the Strength. So, with the Queen of Cups, I believe that your ex would believe or believes that you should come to better feelings towards one another or you towards your ex. And that intuition needs to be taken into consideration. Inner voice, following your heart, having a light heart, but it looks like you are both hurting so bad that this is not really a possibility, at least for the time being. But your ex feels that you should, in order for you to be able to see the entire truth of what really happened there, you should come to better feelings towards yourself and towards each other, and your ex towards him herself. That more positive feelings need to be. I think you loved each other so much that you ended up loving to hate each other and hating to love each other. And there is no emotional balance there. And I believe that this is what the Queen talks about. You know, balancing the two emotions, or becoming less emotional in order to be able to see the truth. Then we have the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands has multiple meanings. But given this reading, I believe that it does not mean necessarily about communication, which I believe is non-existent between you. Or if it is, I believe it's harsh and quick kind of communication, like very rapid messages and fast messages, and with no hello, no goodbye, just just send the message and get over with. So given this situation, I believe that the Eight of Wands represents more like coming to conclusions. Like, first is emotional balance that is necessary in order to be able to use reasoning into gaining clarity, mental clarity. So the Eight of Wands, I believe that in this particular situation represents coming to conclusions, obtaining a needed bit of information, finding the missing puzzle piece, the missing jigsaw piece, discovering the truth. So mental balance and then finding the truth. I feel that the emotions and the feelings between of you are still so strong that you cannot clearly see the situation. And I believe that this is what it's all about, clarifying. And in order to clarify, some balance between head and heart is necessary. Then we have the Ten of Wands, and it shows burden, huge burden, trying so much to understand, overworking overworking yourself. Like, I believe that the Ten of Wands is the day side of this, of the Nine of Swords. Like, I can see you trying to find activities during the day so that you take your mind away from what has happened. And then this is the night, and then this is the day. The day you are overworking yourself, over struggling, over just to keep your mind away from what had happened. And when the night hits, the ships are falling down like Titanic, and worrying and negative feelings and sleepless and crying nights. This is the day, this is the night. So I believe that emotional balance is necessary in order to reach some conclusions and to find some missing pieces of the entire situation, and that would make the burden be more doable, become more acceptable, and that mental control is needed. Holding on mental sanity. Like really, in this situation, I can imagine how you feel you were going nuts. And when you feel you're going nuts, when you feel you're going crazy, when you feel that you're losing yourself, that you're losing your reasoning, this is what you become. A person that simply holds into everything that they still have left. The very little bits that they have left, the very little bits of understanding and of reasoning and all of that. And if the Four of Pentacles talks about, controlling what you have alone, and in nobody touches this. The Strength talks about a soft kind of control. And I believe that what your ex is talking about with this soft control is about regaining inner strength, regaining mental strength, being able to balance not only the emotions and the thoughts, but being able to keep in control the impulses. And when you have this kind of passionate romance, the impulses are very manifested. So I don't see any message when it comes to reconciliation in these cards. However, what I see is what would make both of you capable of gaining some normality into your lives. Because I told you, I don't believe that reconciliation is possible for the time being. I don't see either you, given your general love reading, either your ex, given his reading, that any of you can even consider having this kind of relationship back into your lives, because it has been too painful losing it. However, I believe that individual balance, emotional and thinking, and maybe even material kind of balance is necessary. Regaining energy, regaining faith, regaining hope, following your intuition, following your guts, listening to your inner voice, feel the pain that you need to feel, come to some conclusions, understand some aspects. I believe this is all about. I believe that not too many words has been told afterwards, after the breakup, and you do not know each other's side. You do not know each other's part of the story, and neither of you wants to give it to the other one. So that at least that kind of immense pain stops a bit for a while. And then in the fourth row, we have the message or the energy of your ex for you. And we have the Magician, we have the Tower. It's a very powerful message. 4 major arcanas. Here they are, one after another. What a kind of love did you had, good beings. So, we have the Magician, we have the Tower, we have the Hierophant, we have the High Priestess, and we have the 6 of Swords. And I feel that this is not a very loving kind of a message. This is more kind of an encouraging kind of a message. It's more like, please understand me and forgive me kind of a message. So what I see from all of these, I usually try to make one sentence, like one clearer message. It was a bit difficult with this one, but I will do my best. Take action. Act consciously. Concentrate on all the aspects. Regain your balance and your power. Face and understand the sudden change. Release your emotions. Get your answers by both seeking the deeper meaning in the outside, as the Hierophant does, and in the inside, as the High Priestess does. Seek for deep understanding, seek for meaning, seek for clarity, seek for understanding, both outside and inside. Use your intuition. Use your beliefs. Use your inner voice. Use the voice of others. Feel your pain. Don't run away from it. Feel your pain. After understanding all of this, the sudden change, the voice of reason, and the inner voice, and then please heal. Find it in yourself and find the strength in others to heal. This is it. My head hurts, literally my head hurts. This is all I have for you, my dear Gemini. Strong meanings, strong messages, a lot of pain, a lot of struggling. This is how your ex feels as well, or this is what your ex knows that she caused. Please stay strong. I beg of you, stay strong and don't give up, and please regain your faith. And just when you feel like this, just remember that if you wouldn't have been like this loving and this balanced and this beautiful, happy kind of people, you wouldn't have lived this. This kind of love is worthy. Because it's the most powerful thing that you have ever felt and that you will ever feel. I wish you to be blessed with love and light. I hope that my next readings are going to be more positive. I wish you all the best. I hope that you are going to be capable of enjoying your Christmas and a Happy New Year. And don't forget to make a wish upon a star. And be proud of yourselves. And be happy that you have lived this. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. If you want private readings, you have the details in the description box. I wish you all the best, my dear Gemini. Be blessed. Bye.